Look into my eyes. What do you see? Do you see crazy? Do you see crazy? If so, you'll be seeing right. You'll be seeing right. Good morning. It's been a while. I'm not sure what this hazy glow is, but I feel like I'm in a cloud. The cloud of witnesses saying, keep on, carry on, pursue against all odds. All is not as it seems. I did a video a few days ago, Monday. I channeled a message with this feeling that we are, what's the day today? Tomorrow is the 25th. 25th of January is supposed to be some big day, and I'm feeling it. I'm not sure I can articulate it, but the sense is that there's these timeline realities, and you can be, it's like being on a train, and that train has a destination. However, there's a point in the tracks where you can go clunk and change the direction of the tracks, and it's a bit like that with timeline realities. You can be headed in one direction, and depending on where you focus your thoughts or how you incorporate certain divine inspired information, you can choose a different route of action, essentially, to put it simply. And the other day I saw this picture of these two timeline realities, and what is calling out to many people at this time is to really, really tune into this higher intelligence. Like, we are given all the tools, all the ability. It's like a book of instructions, or a book of this is how it is. Do you believe it? And the verse of scripture that was been in my mind is, I am doing a new thing. Can you not perceive it? Can you feel it? Can you sense it? Do you know it's coming? I certainly perceive something new is already happening. It's already in that kind of energy. It's like a feeling that you can sense. And the invitation is during this course of, well, it happens throughout your life all the time. We're always given like choices, or we're always told that we can redirect ourselves, we can make different, we can react differently, and then it can set us in a whole new trajectory. I don't like saying that word. It set you in a totally different direction. And sometimes it takes a bit of awareness to realize that we've been just doing life in loops, or in repeating patterns. We keep dating the same type of people that aren't very good for us, and we might need to stop and go, why am I doing that? What about me allows me to keep attracting these bozos? Change your frequency, say, hey, I'm worth more than that, and then you don't start attracting them anymore because you're like, Anyway, that's just an example. Or, I don't know, you've got a ton of gifts, you've got a ton of talent, and you keep getting given opportunities to express that talent and to put yourself out there, and you go, yeah! And then the time comes and you self-sabotage because suddenly you think, I'm not good enough, I can't do this. That is another example of a repeating pattern. Press into those fears and say, yes, I am good enough. And what is it within me that tells me I'm not? Where did that stem from? Where did that come from? Is that time when I was 5 and everybody laughed at me when I opened my mouth and sang? It can be the tiniest of things that stay in our subconscious that keep us stuck. However, whatever yours is, you're being given an opportunity or an invitation to go in a different way this way. There's going to be this timeline shift is what I was hearing from Spirit, and it's literally like a crack in the earth where the plates have moved, and you can carry on and stay here, or you can choose to stay on a higher timeline reality, and there's no judgment in that, or like better than. It's just, well, it is better in the sense that it's going to help your evolution. without choosing the higher path or the harder path or the one that gives you that sense of challenge, you're not going to evolve. You're just going to stay samey, doing the samey thing. And some people stay samey from the moment they're born, and they just really don't give themselves those opportunities to evolve and change. And as human beings, spirits, souls wrapped in skin, there is so much to explore. And I think I am a big explorer, hence me wanting to experience more and wanting to understand higher realities, wanting to understand how you can incorporate that and integrate that into a human life. So we're given these opportunities at the moment, and the message that was coming through was kind of like, put it simply, I had this vision of going back in time to like the 18th century, and I was me, and I was wearing like all the 18th century type women's clothing and tweed and these sort of long leather brown boots, and everything outside was just dust and horse and carriage. And I realised that I had no means of communication like I do in this century. There was no telephone, there was no internet, there was no Zoom calls, there was no TikTok and any of that business where you could just put a message out there. I had to handwrite it and grab a horseman and tell him to send that letter to the address. And I felt so constricted, and I was trying to tell them, don't you have telephones yet? Because the telephone hadn't been invented, and they thought I was mad. Anyway, flash forward, I ended up in this time, in this century, and a higher intelligence was coming to me saying, in the same way they thought you were mad when you went back in time, people are going to think you're mad when you speak about this, but we want to tell you what's up ahead, what's in the future. And we have things that can assist mankind and bring you into a state of extreme intelligence where we can evolve as we need to evolve, but for good and not for evil. I know a lot of people, I won't use names, but in the media we can see that a lot of things are being created, and a lot of very intelligent people are using that intelligence for not so good things. Weapons of war, for example. You can use this intelligence for harm, or you can use it for good. And I believe that a lot of us right now are being invited to access these like libraries of information that are not yet here in this reality, and to be open to receive them however you would receive them. It might be a divine thought, it might be that you have a dream, it might be that you just walking along and you suddenly have this epiphany. I believe that Spirit is wanting us to wake up to a new way of living, and it precedes the way we've been living to this point for many. So there is an invitation to step up into this new way of living. I'm just listening in. Oh, I thought you were saying. Yeah, they're saying take heed, for the voice of change is here. And those of you that have ears to hear can listen, as I always say, but it's so true. So open your ears, your spiritual ears, open your eye, open your spiritual eyes, not these flesh ones. We do not live flesh and blood. We live by faith, we live by spirit, or we can choose to do that. And there are going to be things coming into our minds, into our creative ideas that will really shift and change us as individuals. And imagine how powerful you as just one individual with a voice and the power of technology. In one press, I can be broadcasted out to at least 20,000 people in a day. And that is the power of reality, and it can grow. And that's the Spirit's asking me to open my mind more, get that music out there, get your voice out there. We're in a time where people can be shared information in a press of a button. So how are you using your voice? And how are you using your life today? Go do amazing things.